Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My background's a little different because I finally finished cleaning, so let me know if you like this background or if you want something that's more plain where there's more blank spaces, because this can seem a little cluttered. I'm still trying to figure out where the best place to film in my new house is. So yeah, just leave a comment down below and I'll take it into consideration. So today I'm going to be answering questions about Korea. I asked my Instagram followers what they wanted to know about Korea, and I'm just going to go through them and answer them. So question number 1, budgeting tips. So it depends on your personal lifestyle and your traveling style. I will budget for everything just so I can have a nice dish or meal during my trip. I save for food and travel. So it depends on how far you're willing to go. For lodging, I recommend a Koshiwon. It is a small room with one bed, and then there is a shared kitchen and a shared bathroom. And it is on the cheaper side, but then there are also people who don't like living in Koshiwons because it could be a little claustrophobic, because you might have a window depending on how much you pay. And I was told that share houses are also very cheap and very nice, but you need to stay for at least 3 months or so, I believe. So if it's just a very short trip, like a few days or a week, I was able to find one through Airbnb, so it was also in English, and it wasn't even $20 a night. So when I travel, I literally just go outside all day and I literally only sleep. There's no need for me to be in a nice luxury hotel, not like I can afford it anyways, but I literally just need housing for sleeping and washing up. So I get the cheapest option, which is a Koshiwon. For food, you could save some money on food by eating food from convenience stores. So instead of eating out at a restaurant for every meal, for maybe breakfast or for lunch, just get something quick, something cheap at a convenience store. And convenience stores in Korea they offer a very wide variety of food. So you can get chips and then the cup ramen, but you can also get the samgak kimbap, which is the triangle kimbap. They're very cheap, it's very filling because of the rice, and it's actually really good. So you can get a cheap meal and save some money through that, and then put it towards a bigger meal for dinner, like maybe Korean barbecue or some fancy restaurant. For supplies, if you're a student or you're living in Korea, or even if you're a tourist and you forgot something like your toothbrush or toothpaste, if there is a Daiso nearby, I recommend going to a Daiso. Daiso is a very cheap home goods supply store. It costs from 50 cents to $5 max, and it's cheap, but it's also of good quality. So I highly recommend Daiso, and you can also go there for souvenirs because they have their seasonal collections as well as Korean related items that are very good for souvenirs, like keychains, little pocket mirrors and such. For transportation, I recommend you taking buses and subways. So taxis in Korea are cheaper than the ones in New York. They're a lot cheaper, but to save just that little bit more, I recommend using subways and buses. And if you're not familiar with the Korean language or the transportation system, I recommend using the subway because the subway is a little bit easier to navigate than the buses. Question number 2, what are the differences between the clothing depending on the dynasty or era? I've made a video about hanboks previously, you could go check that out, but just simply put, hanboks are the traditional Korean clothing, and they relatively did not change in design. It's generally of a upper jacket, and then for men, pants or skirts for women. The biggest change, I would have to say, is the size of the chogori, which is the jacket top. So specifically for women, in the older dynasties, their chogoris were longer, and then as time passed, it got shorter and shorter. Question number 3, why is there a North and South Korea? That is very complicated, and there's a lot of different factors, but simply put, Korea was a colony of Japan from 1910 to 1945. So after Japan surrendered at the end of World War II, Korea was split into the North and the South. So Russia went in to the north and America went to the south, and they acted like a brother protector state because of the differences of ideology. The Korean War happened in 1950. The armistice was signed to end or pause the war in 1953, and the Korean Peninsula has been split ever since. So I just answered a few questions that people had about Korea. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, leave a comment down below and I will try to answer them. Maybe I'll make a video compiling them together. If you do want to learn more about Korea and you're curious about Korea, Korean culture, history, anything Korea related, I definitely recommend that you subscribe to KoreaNet and KoreaNet's sub-channels. So KoreaNet has 3 new sub-channels called K-Influencer, Korea Trend, and Korea Around the World. The K-Influencer channel gives tips on how to become a Korean content creator, including editing, filming, and planning. Korea Trend talks about the heavy subjects and the latest trends such as K-culture, K-news, K-education, and more. Korea and the World is the YouTube channel of 32 Korean culture centers in 27 countries, and it talks about very popular topics such as K-pop, K-art, K-history, and K-movies, and more. So I definitely recommend that you go and subscribe to these channels. You can just dig around a little bit and you will find something that interests you, because there is so much content and so much information on those 3 different YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, and that is all for today. Until next time. Bye!